Acts chapter 7, starting off on verse 54. When they heard these things, they were cut to the heart, and they gnashed on him with their teeth. So he was giving them the word, and they didn't like that. It cut, because the truth cuts you. The truth hurts. That's why they were cut to the heart. The truth hurts. He was giving them the word. He was giving them, preaching the gospel. He was giving them truth. And it hit them where it hurts. It hit them in the heart. So when you hit people with the truth, either they're going to accept the truth and be corrected by it and get aligned with it, or they're going to get offended and they're not going to like it. It's going to cause them to get more angry with you. They're not going to like you even more because of the word that you gave them, because the truth you gave them. And then verse 55. But he, being full of the Ruach HaKodesh, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of Elohim and Yahusha standing on the right hand of Elohim. He cut them to the heart with the word, so they started going off on him, fussing at him, yelling at him, insulting him. But he didn't stoop to their level. What'd he do? He looked above. You got to stay looking above. You can't stoop to their level. When they try to bring you down, you can't go down with them. You can't go down to their level. That's what bringing you down is they're bringing you down to their level. Because they don't like they don't like your position. Instead of them coming up and joining you on that higher position, joining you in the kingdom, aligning themselves with the word, aligning themselves with the truth, accepting the truth and being corrected by the truth, they rather bring you down to where they at, because they don't want to do the work, because they don't want to take the narrow path. They don't want to level up. Instead, it's easier for them to pull you down than it is for them to level up, because it takes work. Faith without works is dead. They don't want to work on it. They don't want to have faith because they don't want to do the work. So they rather pull you down to where they at, to prove to you that you ain't better than nobody, to prove to you that you just like them. But you're not like them, because you do what Stephen did. You look above them. You stay looking up. You don't look down. They got to come up to our level. We can't go down to their level. See, Stephen right here proved his faith with his works. Because if he was in his flesh, if he was in his soul, and his mind will, if he got in his emotions, if he let his emotions take over, if he let them get to him, he would be like, oh, no, you're not going to say that to me. I know what I'm talking about. Nah, he stood in truth. When you stand in truth, you know it's truth, and you don't have to prove nothing to nobody. Once you give them the truth, they can either accept it or not. But you ain't got to prove nothing. You done did your job. You gave them the truth. Now you stay looking above. That's what Stephen did. Look, verse 55. But he, being full of the Ruach HaKodesh, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of Elohim and Yahusha standing on the right hand of Elohim. While they gnashed on him with their teeth, meaning they were talking angrily at him, yelling at him, insulting him because of what he said, he just looked above. He stayed looking above. He didn't come down to them. He didn't talk back to them. He didn't say mean things back to them. He didn't yell at them. He just looked above. He held his peace. He stood on the truth and held his peace, and kept his eyes on Yahuwah, kept his eyes on Yahusha. That's having works with your faith. That's what he did. Now, people that claim they have faith, they're not going to do that. Sometimes we don't do that. We say something, we gotta say something back. They gonna talk to me like that. I'm gonna say something back to them. I'm gonna let them know it don't work like that around here. That's not fruits of the spirit. That's not showing faith. Being full of faith, you don't have to say nothing back. You just look up to heaven. You just look up to Yahuwah. You just look up to Yahusha, like Stephen did. And this is a group of people. This ain't one person. Some of us can't even handle one person saying something wrong to us, talking to us like they ain't got no sense. Some of us can't take one person. This is a whole group of the synagogue people. It's a whole group of them. They said it was Cyrenians, Asians, libertines. It was groups of people. It was a whole group of people from the synagogue coming at them wrong because of the truth. A whole group of people. He still stood on the truth, and he didn't come back at them with no insults. He didn't yell back at him. He looked up to heaven.